And this is Jeremiah 51 and verse 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Kal Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Rukwah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to brothers on down, teaching, preaching, pushing this gospel, good news to the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect of Israel. Greetings also to the few sisters that tune into these video epistles. I've called this lesson, Fire is the only answer. That's right. Well, for what purpose? Well, this leprous man, he's the Edomite, the so-called white man. He's dared to put his hand on the apple of the Most High. And so, well, let's just read that. Let's find it. Zechariah 2 and 8, because we want to get straight into the scriptures as soon as possible without too much talking from me. Zechariah 2 and 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. See? So we want to have a look at, there's a lot of controversy. The word is going out increasingly. The great awakening is taking place by all means. Our power, his name is Yahweh, his only begotten son. It's Yahweh Shai, that's our high priest and mediator in the heavens. We know the names, we're not ashamed to say the name. It's a curse. We learn that in the scriptures, Malachi 2 and 2. If you can't say the name, it's because you've been cursed. You can't say it. It's terrible in your mouth. And so fire is coming to put an end to all the arguments. As we say here, the wickedness turn up. Let's get to more scriptures, because we've been here before. Genesis 6, let's read verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Verse 13. And the Most High said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. It's all happened before. Nothing new under the sun. That's Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It goes on, I think, in Ecclesiastes 3, around about 15, 16, the Most High requires that which is past. So we're the same people coming back around again in our lot. And so these wicked lifestyles, let's have a look at that. Genesis 19. Genesis 19. This is often referred to throughout the scriptures. Why is that? Verse 24. Then the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Let's jump back to verse 13. For we will destroy, this is the angels that were speaking to Lot at the door, telling him, what's going on? Why is this happening? For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, has sent us to destroy it. We know what Sodom, what does that mean? It's that alphabet lifestyle. Has all kind of rights attached. Let's get to Luke. Yahushua, he had something to say about it also. Luke 17, start at 25, but Yahushua speaking is his red letter. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. As it was then, so it is now. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day of Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. See, we're going round in circles, but this is the last of the heathen rulerships. This so-called white man, the Edomite, he's in rulership. The earth's been given into his hand, as the scripture tells us in Job 9:24. And so he's redoing what was happening in the past. He's taken all of the wickedness that has happened throughout the other kingdoms, and they're all rolled up into one package of wicked nastiness, that things you could never imagine, one headline after another. Let's get into some of the Apocrypha here. Let's read 2nd Ezra 13. Let's start at 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. This is Ezra is in a dream here. He's seeing all these visions of all the end of time. And so he's having this, his dreams were being interpreted by the angel, and they were just coming thick and fast. And so they're trying to explain in layman's terms what on earth is happening on the earth. And so Ezra is trying to put this here. And you can see in the Apocrypha why the Edomites, the Amaleks amongst them, 274 years it took them to get this away from the main Bible. They don't want to see their judgment written, stark, plain to see. 2nd Ezra 13, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. We're going to jump around here a little bit. Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up on it. Verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. This ship was so large. Our brother Ezra couldn't see the beginning or end of it. He said it was like a mountain. It's just so massive. Let's jump to 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held a sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks of tempest. This was obviously coming out of this massive ship. Blast of tempest and fire. You can just imagine all the colors and all that. It was absolute terror. I think there's another scripture here where Ezra said he was sick when he saw, and various of the other prophets, when they got these visions of what is to come, they were sick to the stomach, and the angel had to pull them up, give them some courage and strength to strengthen their bodies so that they could stand up. How frightening this all was. But I saw as he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. I was going to stay reading this. And verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. There's another scripture in Revelation said, in 1 hour, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Can you imagine the terror? Let's jump to 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. This is civil war. All these countries then going to start fighting against another. And one realm against another. That's the earthly realm against the heavenly. When the Most High sends his son, they're going to mount up a challenge against him. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared as Yahushai, a king, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multiple shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. That's all the other 17 wicked nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto fire. The same law that they're not interested in. You see, our power is not to be messed with. Let's read a few verses here in Joel. Joel 2, 1-3. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. What kind of day is it going to be? A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall they be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, and the land is the garden of Eden before them, and behind them desolate wilderness. That's not America. Babylon the Great is going to be totally and utterly destroyed. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. Let's jump to, where are we? Joel 1. Let's read 26 and 27. And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of Yahweh, your power that hath dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of the whole world, of everybody else, all the other nations. No, in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. Let's jump to 31. And the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. If you can't say the name, look out. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord had said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. He's the one doing the calling. We don't call ourselves. There's people out for fame and glory. They've got their robes on, their mouth is jumping, they got their mouths open, yap, 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 yap. They know everything, they can't be told anything. You see, they're full of pride. Me, look at me. Joel 2. No, it's going to Joel 3. Starting at 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, that's the southern and northern kingdom, I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, that's the place of his judgment, and will plead with them there. That's to judge them for my people and for my heritage. Who's that? Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. What land is that? That's Israel. And they have cast lots for my people. See, this is the why is this happening? Why would you do this? What's this all about? Here's the answer. They have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Who was it that they were selling like cargo, like meat? They had us just selling like animals. Yeah? And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? See, these are the Hamite nations, the Africans, so you understand. They sold that Hebrew Israelites were not the same people. Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense on your own head? Why? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, the southern and northern kingdom, have ye sold unto the Grecians. Who's that? That's the Edomites, the so-called the white man, leprous man, the wicked in the scriptures, Malachi 1 and 4. Know who you are. That's been revealed in our time. You set yourself up. You think you're the Most High. You think you're a son, the prophets, the children. Yet not. You're a liar and a deceiver. The devil that the Bible speaks of. I won't stop saying it. That ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off. For the Lord hath spoken it. Let's jump forward here. 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people. Who are they? And the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I am the Lord your God, Yahweh, power dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Let's jump to 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom, the white man, the place of his habitation, that's America, Babylon the Great, shall be a desolate wilderness. Why? For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. For the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, dwelleth in Zion. Praise ye the Lord. Yeah, getting ready to finish up here. Let's read Isaiah 66, starting at 13. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants. Who's his servants? It's the Hebrew Israelites. They're the only ones who can be his servants. That's Leviticus, I think it's 25 and 55. And his indignation is righteous anger toward his enemy. And listen to verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebukes with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. My. You're supposed to be afraid. Let's just jump back. Isaiah 63, starting at 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? That's the land of the white man, the Edomite, with dyed garments from Bozrah. That's his capital. That's America, Babylon the Great. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speaketh in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? This is symbolic of the blood, the killing that's going to be taking place. And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. Redeem means to buy back. All the debating is soon done. People showing up various podcasts and TV appearances, they know it all, their mouths is flapping, there's no truth. So many opportunities to push Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You can't hear it come out of their mouths, and yet they're speaking so loudly. What's that scripture about empty vessels? They make a lot of noise. But mass death is coming, and fire is what is going to be needed to cleanse the earth, and it's coming real soon. So I won't stretch the lesson beyond where it needs to be. You've been listening to Fire is the only answer. Shalom until the next one.